Man, what is going on, Cowboys Nation? What is going on, Star Gang affiliates? You're now tuned into the Cowboys Report with your guy Nix, with that boy Spony.
What's going on? What's going on?
Almost had that New York heat wave take him out today.
Oh, yes. It was some heat wave.
Yeah, and of course, it's going to be us too. You know, we got a guy, Jay Tuck, out there living up the anniversary life with the wifey. We got Matt O with the new baby on deck, so they're chilling. Talk to Mary Ellis. She's back in the place to be next Wednesday. The schedule's finally clearing up. We'll be back in rotation as well. But for what it do, you got to deal with these two faces right here. I got Dominic in the building. That had 29. Oh, don't start so soon. Don't start him up so soon, guys. We'll get to some of that. We'll get to some of that, man. Get your comments rolling in here. Maybe we're going to build this thing up a little bit before we get going and talk about maybe a little Benny Mac, huh? Maybe talk a little Benny Mac, Spoonie. Some of these OTA things that are going on. Some of these number changes that have people in their feels. So yeah, man. Definitely a nice week of info and things happening that are coming around, Spoon.
Yes. Some very solid, solid changes. Some are happy with it, some are not, but we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Well, Spoon, I'll tell you what. Let's spin the wheel of destiny. Where do you want to start tonight?
You know what?
Where do you want to start, sir?
Let's start with the Ben McAdoo. Since that's the latest.
Yeah, Benny McAdoo. Now as a consultant role, if you will. What are your thoughts there, Spoon?
I love the idea. I really did. I know as Cowboys fans, we all have a difference of opinions. I respect that. But for my opinion, I like the move. Why? Because he's one of the guys that helped Mike McCarthy win a championship with the position he's in Dallas with, as far as OC consulting. He's not a coordinator, but a consultant. And I like a guy to come in with more experience. That's something we haven't had in a long time, especially on the Garrett staff. We having some well-known name guys in his coaching staff, and the more the better. Some people say, "Why consult it?" Listen, who cares? The more experience we get on the staff, the much better it is for this Dallas Cowboys team. We need a big change. We need culture change. This would be great for Dak Prescott. I don't know why some folks will look at Ben McAdoo to say, okay, what did he do with the Giants to come as a consultant? I mean, if we're going to get into that, you're going to have to go into, okay, what are the reasons why he wasn't the head coach, why he got fired, X, Y, and Z. But if you want to go that route, we could say, well, as an OC, he went 11-5 his first year with the New York Giants. After that, it's politics, in my opinion. So, good for Ben McAdoo coming to Dallas, joining the coaching staff with Coach Mike McCarthy. I love this for Dak Prescott so much. This team is going to grow with the more experience we have on that staff.
No doubt. I got Rush Chicken that says, man, he got a Series X and thunderstorms. He can't hook it up. Oh, the worst. Obviously, we're going to get that's going to clear up, and man, you got a good time. Prime 903. Add me on Xbox. With that being said, one thing. Well, let me go back on the Ben McAdoo thing, and I get it right. Cowboys Nation, like, okay, well, oh my God, here goes Mike McCarthy again, right? He brought on Nolan, okay, and this time make sure you got Joe Witt on the defensive hiring before, But again, Ben McAdoo was up there with him in Green Bay, right? So it's his guy. And he's a consultant, right? We did see my guy Woodard say future OC. We'll pump the brakes on that. We don't get too far ahead in that. Get good offensive mind. Was probably a little too soon to be a head coach, right? They stuck with him because of the chemistry he had with Eli and what was going on with that offense. They didn't want to lose it. That's why he ended up getting the bump to head coach. Just kind of talk about his history and what happened. But again, known to work well with quarterbacks, known to be quarterback friendly. And it's another offensive mind in the building to help mold young Kellen some. right?
Mhm.
The things that I talked about last year for sure was, once Kellen gets like that 35, 30 yard, going towards the end zone, he'd always just call that weird clunky play. Oh, now we're going to do a jet sweep or something. Just a weird clunky play that just wasn't needed. And one of the things I talked about Mike McCarthy last year was, I need to slap their hands. They made that stove side, man, don't touch it. And now you got a Ben McAdoo that can work with him on that as well. So I'm not mad at the hiring. Obviously, we had Edwards last year in as a consultant.
Right.
The word is that Edwards is definitely working with the linebackers more this year.
Mhm.
So it's bolstering the staff, making a position for Ben, and we'll see how it kind of pans out. I mean, I don't think it moves the needle as far as this puts us over the top or this
Right.
is going to hinder us, if you will. None of those
Right.
things. It's just another offensive mind within the building to help the young Jedi, Kellen Moore, round his game into fruition
Right.
as he's building up the ranks. My guy Joseph came in and said, man, I'll tell you, I agree with this completely. Watching KZ moving around looked encouraging. Yeah, man, I posted that in the group yesterday. So people's like, we just want to win. I'm like, bro, I get it. It's OTAs though. We was hearing
Right.
pup list possibly. The fact that he's on the field,
Mhm.
right? The reason that he's on the field now is exciting is because we wasn't sure he was going to be able to practice until later on in camp. He might be starting on the
Right.
pup list, but he's out there, he's playing around, man, and it for sure is nice
Right.
to see. Parker says Jay need to make that 9th grade or get out. Hey, man, we're going to talk about some of these
Mm.
numbers games here in a little bit. We're going to get into that, and I wish you would that Kellen's not McCarthy's guy, but Kellen is Jerry Jones's guy, hence the
Right.
3-year deal and everything to keep him over here. So we got to keep it up. But boy, Mark Henderson's in the building, the president of the Fatty Brigade, if you will. Miller's checking in. What's going on, Miller? Thank you for rocking with us as always. Now let's kind of fall back a little bit, all right? So added another offensive mind, Spoon,
Okay.
added, and look, well, sometimes, I mean, just throw what you got at the wall, right? Just more
Right.
shrimps on the Barbie, if you will.
Right.
All with hey, what's up, fellas? I think it's a good hire. Maybe it helps the team out between him and Quinn. Not everyone is meant to be a head coach, but better at other things.
Right.
Exactly. And that's got to be in
Yes.
Spoon's point here for sure. Spoon, you brought it up, right? 11-5, as offensive coordinator before he took over as
Right.
head coach and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I think it's something you shouldn't be upset about. I'm not saying this is something that Cowboys are like, yes, we got this guy, and this is going to be But hey, man, it's not here to hurt us. You
No,
feel
it's
me?
not.
And if anything, it helps Kellen more. I'll give you your final
Yes.
thoughts on that. What you think? So go ahead.
Oh no! At the end of the day, like I said, I love the hire. The more experience we have in that on that coaching staff, the same way we have George Edwards, who can be a head coach, and he's basically a consultant on the defensive side of the ball. These are the things that will help this team grow mentally, physically, and be a better
Mm-hmm.
team on the field. And this is what we want. This is the culture that we've been asking for, and we're finally getting it. We're getting that
Right.
experience. This is not people look at it, this is Mike McCarthy's friend. No, this is not Mike McCarthy's friend. This is familiarity. Guys that he has won with his last stint in Green Bay. So he's bringing that over here to help this talent grow. This is what we wanted. This is what we needed. Let's embrace it.
Right. For me, the question here from Jerome says, "Will it be on the field or in the top in the booth?" I think it'll be in the booth, but we'll see.
Right.
You want too many Chiefs on the sidelines, and I think it'll
Right.
be somebody that'll be up in the booth personally. Ryan
Right.
Hawkins is checking in. What's going on, brother? As always, my guy Mo, see you in here, man. And
Yes, sir.
great point there. More hands on with Dak and development of more. Exactly.
Yes.
These are just things that when you talk about Mike McCarthy, and we kind of question Mike McCarthy's role here in Dallas. Like,
Right.
hey man, what is he really going to be doing here? And if he's going to be that CEO type, maybe he's got to bring in these micromanagers, right, if you will,
Right.
to help out in certain areas. He thinks he's a little weak here. Okay, I got to be everywhere. Okay, well let me add something to that piece of the pie and help it out.
Right.
Whether it was with the defensive side of the ball with Edwards last year with the consultant, or now it's McAdoo this year. So this is something as a trend that we'll probably look at with Mike McCarthy. There's something you might see him do every offseason. Right. As long as he's here, it's maybe what we got to get used to what he's doing in house here now. But with that being said, let's talk about these OTAs a little bit. Let's talk about Dak throwing in the 7-on-7s. Not quite in the 11-on-11 drills yet. Just precautionary. He could play in them, but they're not looking to any undue or unnecessary contact on him right now. So working him back in there. A little change to the footwear though for Mr. Prescott.
Oh yes. Got a little check mark on his footwear and not the 3 lines.
Yeah.
For what I gathered, basically he wanted Adidas on a short-term deal, similar to the Dallas contract situation, a short-term deal. Maybe his way of getting out of that contract is to wear a different brand for the brand that he really wants, which is Nike. And to put out there, Michael Parsons signed with Nike too. Just
Okay.
signed with Nike, so
Right. And yeah, man. And yeah, definitely saw him in some J's as well.
right.
Here's what I do know: if he does eat that deal with Nike or Jordan, boy, that comeback commercial for Deck is going to be fire. You know
Yes,
how they do those things. Quick question here was Deck doesn't have the Adidas, right? Yeah, right. Joe says, "Will Parsons be on the inside or outside?" Man, I think he's going. I think he's going to be in a lot of different places. To be honest with you, right now, currently though, what we saw was it was Jalen in the middle, right?
Mhm.
It was Parsons on, I think it was weak, and
Right,
Neil it's strong, if I'm not
right.
mistaken. So, but I mean, it's OTAs. I mean, it's not to get too carried away with this thing. All this stuff will kind of take care of itself once we get into training camp. We start seeing the preseason games. I fully anticipate that Parsons is going to be used all over the field this season. It's kind of how I look at it personally.
For the same.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, well, we'll kind of wait and see. And of course, as my guy Jock checking in saying, pressure is a privilege. And obviously, Dak with the Instagram post about it, thanking, the adversity for,
Right.
what's going on here, the privilege for him to go forward. He's getting a little bit more active on the social media. You can tell he's feeling it, getting ramped up. We saw LVE walk back through the door and be out there on the field as well. Good signs. I mean, hands on deck, man. And then the report that Dak's like, hey, don't we ain't just throwing here, come to my house. And if you say yes, as Dalton Schultz says, you better show up or else. Culture change, man. Holding people accountable. So.
Yeah. Listen, most importantly, another thing that nobody's really been talking about, BJ, is that Dak Prescott also has a psychologist to help him deal with the injury from last year to make him feel better as he's going along. Not play a certain way where he's scared to get hit and stuff like that, which is very important. We always say that when a player gets injured, it's the mental part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that he's actually, looking into that, because that's gonna be very important when week 1 happens, when you get that first hit. Like, how do you feel? Or even the preseason. So, kudos to Dak for even doing that. And hopefully other players will follow in that footstep as well.
Yeah. Question here from Dominico says, what do you guys think about Cox possibly starting? I know it's early. Yeah, for me, I just look at it. That room's pretty heavy. We really want him to be a great contributor on special teams. In my opinion, year 1, it's spot duty on defense. And now injuries can obviously force him to have more playtime and different things of that ilk. I think if we do employ a big nickel, maybe we get to see him on defense more. But I mean, let's let it play out, right? If it's going to be true competition, and if he's the best man for the job, then then so be it. If he earns it, then by all means. But I think this is something where, man, I think they're going to take their time with him. I think they have the thing we heard when it came to Quinn is he had a specific role for these players in mind, and I think he has a plan. And we'll let that plan, unfold. But to me, anyway, Spoon, I don't think Cox is going to have a heavy rotation on the defense side of the ball, unless barring some injuries happen. Then then he has to play. Your thoughts on Cox possibly starting?
Oh, listen, I'm the same way. I feel they're gonna bring him out slowly, nothing crazy. He'll get some spots here and there, but nothing major. Mainly on special teams. He's definitely a guy that you want to develop the right way and not not trying to rush. But like I said, if something happens, like say with Keanu Neal, then we can expect for Wilcox to get in there. But other than that, I think their plan right now is to bring him out slowly.
Right. Jock says they're taking it easy with Coop. Is that foot still a problem? Man, they're just taking it easy with everybody that was hurt, though, to be honest with you, man. They took it easy with Dak. They took it easy with LVE even. They took Kazi, who's got the bill of health. I mean, he's out there and he's moving around, but they're still kind of limiting him some. So, yeah, I mean, these guys right now, it's OTAs. Man, they're not going to put too much pressure on them until we get to Oxnard and things really get ramped up. This is really just install, right? Get back in the motion, get that camaraderie built up, see where everybody's at, what they need to work on, and kind of go from there. So, yeah, they're not going to do anything too wild with these guys that are coming back from injury for sure. Cancel the rumor about Julio Jones, by the way, Jerome. It's not happening in Dallas. I mean, he might be going somewhere, but it will not be Dallas for sure. Now, with that being said, let's move around to as we're talking about these OTAs and everything. Eagles, the wide receiver from Texas. has apparently flashed some here early on. And we're talking about these wide receivers and who might get pushed. And he was a special teams demon, out there for the University of Texas, and he's showing some flashes early in OTAs, which is always good to hear. You take it with a grain of salt, it's OTAs, but it's better to hear that he's flashing than, oh man, he's dropping passes, not looking too good, gunner, different things of that ilk. So one of the things I just thought, one of the names that we heard kind of pop up over the OTA, the rookie OTAs, and into the regular OTAs was maybe becoming a coach favorite. Maybe Bones on the special teams might be like, hey, I like this guy. Something maybe kind of keep an eye out on, and when we get to camp.
Right. Hey, listen, and when you hear things like that from an undrafted free agent, that should definitely have your goosebumps go wild all over your arms, because again, you're talking about the eye focus is always on the starters and the guys that that's gonna make this team. But when you have somebody that catches your eye, like, wait a minute, I'm looking over here, I know these are my guys, but this guy is making me look over in that direction. That is something this Cowboy Nation should be definitely excited for, and I can't wait for preseason. We go to training camp early because we have the Hall of Fame game. And I just can't wait. I really can't wait. July 21st.
Miller, who's going to be the backup to Dak? I mean, they're still looking. They brought guys in to work out, and they haven't really signed no one outside of JT Barrett. I think it's really going to be Gilbert's spot to lose. I think it'll be open with whoever they have here behind Dak, but I really think Double G is going to end up being the backup, in my opinion. I'm going to hit this one right here from Scott. Great question, man. Says, are any position battles taking shape? I mean, it's going to be a battle of linebacker. I mean, no matter what we think Cox is going to be, you got 4 guys for 2 spots, right?
Right.
Prototypically. I mean, you get some 3 in there every once in a while. But, you got Neal, LVE, Parsons, and Jalen. So, definitely going to be some battling going on there for sure. Obviously, quarterback's going to be a little bit of a battle. Curse was getting some starts at safety during these OTAs. Now, granted, Wilson wasn't here, so that's why he was kind of pushed up. So, yeah, man, I think offense is pretty much set. There's definitely a battle for receiver 4 through 6.
Right.
I think that's a battle. Even though I still like Sid Wilson at 4, but hey, if one of these guys walks through that door, you know what it is. So I think offensively the battles are pretty limited for the most part, other than for backup roles. But I do think there's a lot of spots up for grab defensively, right?
Of course, it's in that secondary, at corner, they was talking about Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis definitely having a good show out, basically starting trouble with the receiving corps, giving them a hard time and stuff like that, and that's a very good thing. These are 2 veteran guys that we drafted, and we've seen Anthony Brown start his rookie year, a 6th-round pick, and to me, the best game he's ever played was when we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in their house. We know Jordan Lewis. We know he has that spunk, and when you hear these type of things again under Dan Quinn, it says a lot.
Right.
Now, and here's the thing, BJ. We all want Boss Man, aka Joseph. We know
the vibes.
Exactly. We want him to get in there, but damn, if Anthony Brown and Jordan Lewis are actually doing what they are doing right now, it's gonna make it very hard for the coaching staff to go with the rookie. But that's all. That's okay. That's fine.
And look, and we got to follow the breadcrumbs to kind of listen to what Mike McCarthy said at his press conference. Man, he brought up Brown a lot, man.
Right.
Talking about some of the injuries he battled through and stuff like that, things that they like about him and whatnot. Brown's definitely seems to have a plan for him. Right. And we'll see if he can stay healthy. That's been his big curse. And yeah, we were talking about a little bit earlier, Jock. Really great to see KZ out there moving around, man, and knowing now that he's not going to start on the PUP list. Definitely gives a huge boost to the safety position room. Doesn't make me feel as nervous, as I was talking about before, what was going on there. But yeah, man. Again, they kind of doing their thing, giving us a little, like I said, a little bit of breadcrumbs. Like I said, go back to Anthony Brown, them talking about him coming back from the injury, different things, having to plan, and misread the room. Your guy Nick's man, I misread the room completely. Whenever they brought back they brought back Jordan Lewis, and I'm like, okay, well, they kind of signed to the similar deal that Brown was on. Brown, you can save $4 million. I was looking for them to go out there and get another guy on the outside. I think they're very comfortable with Brown playing on the outside, to be honest with you. And then they added, obviously, Boss Man Fat in the building. Again, I thought that was something they were going to add because of Cat Boy. Yeah, that's him. that boy Steven. But it looks like they're going to be set to go with what they have there and let them battle it out. Again, that's just one of those battles that's going to be really great to see how this thing plays out. You feel me? My guy Dwayne Wright's in the building. What's going on as always? Let's see.
Bradley and I.
He's on the cutting. Oh man, I don't know if he makes it, bro.
Yeah, but they said Bradley Knight, he got bigger. He looks way more explosive, and it's like he hasn't lost his step. And we didn't see him play any games last year. Perform whatever the coaches have seen last year. They're saying that he looks 3 times better, but with that bulk that he has, he never lost a step with his movement. So. And again, I'm hoping that he makes this cut, because that was somebody that we was excited for when he got drafted in the late rounds. We thought that was a steal.
It's hard. It's hard to come across pass rushers, and he has that ability. The one play that he had last year did exactly what he needed to do and took care of business. So I'm happy. Another guy also talking about picking up that weight, Alacron, our Mexican affiliate, right, from Mexico, who came over last year. We knew he's a stash grab kind of guy. I mean, he's over 300 pounds now. Looks good. Looks mean. Ready to see what he's going to bring to the table underneath Philbin, our offensive line coach, and what they can do. But back to the 9, man, he's going to have to really bring it and turn some heads. I'm a little worried about my guy 9 making it through this training camp and still being on this roster. But I'm with you. I'd like to see him make it too. I think he has some pass rush ability, and man, you just can't you can't have enough of those guys. You can never have enough guys to go get that quarterback, man. Another guy for me, any other guy for you? Well, let me ask you first. So another guy that maybe stood out to you during the OTAs to kind of get talked about and whatnot?
Well, you know what? We all heard about Javon Curtis, but I don't know, did Donovan Wilson, did he attend camp or he didn't attend camp? He wasn't there.
He wasn't there. Yeah, he wasn't there.
So, all right, Javon Curtis. But you know what, Kazi? We got to give a shout out to Mendoza, because all last year when we were talking about improving in safety, Mendoza kept on screaming, "Watch out for Kazi, watch out for Kazi, watch out for Kazi." And it was great to hear him, the way he was moving, the way how he was attacking the football, where he won't start in the public. It looked like that he hasn't lost his step since the injury. So that, as somebody who's been crying for safety help for the last couple of years, I'm happy that we have somebody with the potential to have that position, but healthy.
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, the biggest thing is just the fact that he's out there. I know he's not going to be the pup list. Definitely puts me at ease at the safety position a little bit more, right? We're going to have the culmination back there, right? We'll have the culmination of Wilson, Kazi, Curse, our guy Israel that got drafted from South Carolina, who's making the move to safety, obviously. So we got that break the glass just in case with Neil. Jay Lou played some safety last year at times for us. So just good stuff all around in that realm. Ron coming in with the question: are we going to play more 4 down alignment or 3? I think it'll be 4. Spoon, what do you think?
I'm the same. I'm the same. The defensive question, along with Jabril Wilcox playing safety, has been the ongoing story for Dallas Cowboy Nation. I just think number one, Wilcox will be the backup. They move him slowly, but more importantly, is a 4-man. It's a 4 down lineman, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Big facts. I think there'll be moments where we do some 3-man fronts and maybe being like a 3-3-5 top nickel and whatnot. But I think it's going to be dependent on teams and whatnot. The ideas I believe that Nolan was talking about last year, we'll see kind of walk through the door this year. But I believe, mainly will be in 4-man fronts. Woodard as well. Yeah, Jay Lewis is said to be looking good. And look, this kind of defense fits what Jay Lou does very well. If you go back to the defense that they play in Michigan underneath Harbaugh and whatnot, this is something that is not going to be too foreign for him and what they're going to be doing. And obviously he's here, right? They've signed him. He's in the building. The only guy that we could really say would be a cap casualty would be Brown. But again, they're talking very highly of Brown currently right now. Could be smoke, could be.
Right.
But it seems like from what we've gathered of Mike McCarthy's time being here, if he says something, he pretty much means it. He's a little different than Garrett. He don't really give you the shell show. If he's talking about a guy or different things, it's pretty much how he feels and he's on board with it. That's that Pennsylvania in him.
You know what, BJ? Here's the difference between Garrett and McCarthy. See, Garrett is I'm not saying McCarthy's not smart, but Garrett is a very, very intelligent guy. You know, he just gives you whatever you throw at him, he's gonna give it to you the way he wants to give it to you without so much. But he's a very intelligent guy. Mike McCarthy is a football guy.
Yeah.
He's a football guy. I'm not here to entertain with questions. He may look like he's insane sometimes with the questioning. He's a football guy. He's like, damn, in Green Bay, I didn't have to answer stuff like this. Like, are we serious? This is Dallas Cowboys. This is a whole new different town. And, you know, this is America's team. This is where the paparazzi is on you. You're not hitting like in Green Bay or any other team. So with McCarthy, you're gonna get those funny looks like, okay, maybe so. Would have been that, and that just, and I'm cool with that. I'm very cool with that.
Definitely. I guess I was going to say, I mean, another thing about OTAs, Neil answered some questions. He was asked about Parsons. Came out and said, man, loves the kid's energy, motor very high. It's infectious. Funny guy to be around. Yeah. So definitely like hearing that. Coming from Neil. Also, Neil kind of talking about his role in the defense, you know, what they quiz kind of talked to him about on these hooks and curls and flats and different things. So to me, that's the kind of important information from OTAs that we need to be looking at what we're getting from. When these players are talking and they're telling us, you know, what the coaches have them looking at and what they're doing, I think that always puts my radar goes off. I'm like, okay, I can take that. That's some breadcrumbs I can take. I can digest. Something's happening here. So we're kind of getting a feel for what he's going to be. So I definitely liked what Neil had to say as it pertained to Parsons and kind of giving us a little bird's eye view of what his plan is on defense as far as coverage is going to be. Now we know he's going to be roaming. It's a big guy, by the way. Right. Sheesh. I knew Neil was big. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. I knew Neil was big. It's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. Hey, listen, Rico Dowdle, the practice squad running back. It was interesting. They had him lined up in all special team positions. He played the gunner. He played some edge. He had some punt returns, kick returns. They had him all over, and we all know as Cowboy Nation, we all talked about Goodwin as the guy that the special team ace. Rico Dowdle getting all that, you know, that attention and all that and all the spots right there. That's very encouraging. Like, what are they looking at? What did we get out of this guy? So good to hear.
And of course, for a young guy like him, I mean, it's the smartest thing you can do, right? Hey, put me here, coach. Anything special, put me there. I'll do it. Put me here, put me there. You know, and that's how, you know, a fringe guy can make an NFL roster, is doing that dirty work and willing to come on and do those things. So for sure, that's great stuff to hear when the kid's out there doing all those things. He showed willingness to do it, and the coaches are running with it. And then B, he's taking advantage of the situation. You hear me? And that's exactly their mode. He just wants to be on the field. And man, you got to have those dirty guys, those glass cleaners, those everything gadget guys. I'm with you here, Mendoza. I am with you. I think in the first few weeks, if Neil is doing what Neil needs to do, I think Neil is going to get brought back. I really do. That's his guy. So I'm with you there. I think Neil might actually come back as well. I think there's a chance that old Urban has an opportunity to stay with this team beyond the one Urban Yells. Yeah, so, but a little ahead of ourselves on that. You know, and then I guess probably the other thing too, I guess we'll get into some of these jersey numbers that people are a little riled up. We got Donovan Wilson switching over to the 6, right? You know, Boaz Norton says, don't sleep on Rico. He's a Carolina boy. We got 9-11 now at linebackers. Somebody please call 911. Cue up the Wycliffe. Cue up the Wycliffe, John. Cue up the Wycliffe, John. As Mr. Swipe has officially spent almost, I guess, somewhere it's reported around $500,000 to buy all the back stock so he can go back to the 9. Obviously, he had his press conference about the legacy of the 9 and different things and whatnot. Some people kind of felt indifferent about it. It's like, man, I don't care. Like for me personally, I'm an old school guy. I don't like all this number changes. That's fine. I'll be the old fuddy on my rocking chair. Like let college have that. That's college thing. It's here it's here now in the NFL. So be it. If they like it, I love it. Right. It's fine. I'll adjust, and be okay with it. I just play good football. I don't really care what number you care. Why just play good football. I don't care. I mean, he had 54. Look, he had 54 on. It was Randy White's number. Who cares? He's got Romo's number now. Whatever. If that makes him play better and the non-God is back, man, hashtag let's go.
Here's what I feel. And BJ, I know you play ball. I play ball. And a lot of the folks watching the panel play ball. You do know when we was young and when it came to the jersey time, your number, my number was always been 88. 88 has been always my favorite number. And even when I play some old line, 80, it looked weird, but that's my number. So the way I looked at with Jalen Smith, into all NFL players out there, some of the numbers is basically it's like a I can't be who I am without that number. That number and me are attached. And I think with Jalen Smith getting number 9, and listen, he even looked different on the field. Basically, he had the one side was long sleeve with the arm and the leg, the other side was short sleeve. He had that swag. Now, again, I'm not saying
I'm gonna say Jay Tuck's not gonna be happy about that.
He's not. He's definitely not. But I think we was all at that age at the time where a number meant something, and if this number is a psychological thing to help Jalen Smith go back to Notre Dame ways, hell, listen, he was a top 5 prospect, top 5 prospect from Notre Dame before that injury that he had. So if that number 9 makes him like that, hell, if that number 9 makes him a Tony Romo at linebacker, hell, give him whatever he wants.
Yeah, big thanks. What up, my guy, Mr. Roman, the Bill Cowboys fan talk. Congratulations. I saw you just broke over that 4K mark on YouTube. Man, salute to you, brother. Great work. Make sure you go follow my guy on YouTube as well. And while here, I'll give a little plug. Make sure you come follow us on YouTube. Stargame Podcast. Come follow us on YouTube, man. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark. Try to catch up a little bit with my guy Rome, man. But salute to Rome, 4K strong in the building. But yeah, man, like I said, man, I mean, look, I'm my old age and not liking the single digits shit on defense. I'm good. Look, your guy Nix, I'll sit in my rocking chair and get on my soapbox later. I'm okay. I don't care what number you wear, man. Just come out and ball. And you're right. Hey, and if that brings it back to him, and that puts a little pep in the step, if you will, and maybe that drop foot feels just a little bit better because he's got that 9 on. Man, so be it. So be it. I definitely, I mean, it's a proven year, as I was about to say, from Norton's type into my mouth here. It is what it is, man. Again, man, if Tony Dorsett's number can be worn, so can Romo's, guys. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, if Deion Sanders' number can be worn, so can, I mean, look, the 88's the lineage, right? The 94's the lineage. Look, there's just certain numbers that ain't gonna get touched. 8, 12, 22, you kiss the baby. Those ain't gonna get touched, but the rest of that ain't gonna happen. 8, 12, and 22. They're not going to issue them bad boys out anytime soon.
I do want to see a big lineman wear a single number on defense. I really want to see that. I would have been mine.
Okay.
I really want to see that a big lineman wear a single digit number.
Just wear a 1.
This is one. Number 1.
This is 1. He's like this wide, just a little tight 1 down the middle. Man. But I tell you what, Cowboys Nation was in the uproar, man. I was just looking on Twitter. I was just like, my goodness. Like, I'm like, we are up. I mean, boy, we are so triggered right now. We're thirsty for football is what it is. Right. And I get it. And any little thing, boy, Cowboys fans are just, they're so rabid behind it, man. I'm just like, hey, man, the kid.
Donovan Wilson. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Donovan Wilson going to the
number
6. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And listen, if it turns into that pro, his second year in A&M when they was calling him the Honey Badger 2.0, hell, give him the number.
Mm-hmm.
Give him the number.
Do it now. I don't know. I don't know if Jalen should have spent $500,000 to do it, but hey, it meant something to him. So be it, man. Look. look. There you go. That's what I'm talking
There
about,
you
Joseph.
go,
That was one
Joseph.
thing as wearing that number one.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
here for it. But yeah, man. I'm like, hey, man, I ain't pocket watch. Hey, man, that man will spend that money and do it that way, man. It's more money than I got, man. Go for it, bro.
Yeah.
You know. And look, he weren't in high school, right? Pee wee,
Right.
college, and I get somewhere in the NFL, man. And again, much to do about nothing for me from that standpoint. But I did have a question I want to grab back up here that somebody dropped on us. Do 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 do. Oh, boom! Right here from a guy Dominic said, "What do you guys think Zeke is going to do this season?" So, what do you think? Thoughts on Zeke this season?
Well, to start off, I like how Mike McCarthy, when the reporter was so thirsty to find out about Zeke, he says he's not here on the field, but he's in the building. As a matter of fact, he's been in the building all week long. Just to cut off anything you want to add on to that, he nipped that. Now, my feelings on Zeke's performance this year, I think he's gonna remind the NFL who he is. All last year, people dismissed the injuries. They dismissed the offensive line. They kept on blame. They put the Cowboys season on his shoulders, which was, it kind of messed him in the beginning with the fumbling issues, stuff like that. But I think this year, with a healthy roster, with the offensive line being healthy, him going back to his old way with 15 to 20 touches, whatever, and even maybe Tony Pollard keeping him fresh, I think Zeke's gonna remind folks who he is.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
a great season.
I think it's definitely revenge season on his mind. Obviously, we see the work he's putting in, and look, far be it for me to say he was fat last year. Trust me, if that's fat, so be it. Let me be fat. Then.
I want to be fat like him.
I want to be a fat Zeke from last year. But it looks like he has cut some weight for sure. Maybe a little bit more explosiveness, and having those big linemen back, that's going to help, right? Yeah. Having Dak back in the building, it's going to help. Yeah. Now you got the second year of CeeDee Lamb in this thing with this attack at wide receiver. And you got to pick your poison. You're going to load the box or you're going to play light boxes, right? And man, if Zeke's going up against 6 man in the box, I mean that's a win for us all day long. I think the idea is going to be for us to get up, score quick. So we can unleash these defensive ends to go get the quarterback, and then it's like, all right, Zeke, go put the game away in the fourth quarter. Think of kind of basically that fourth quarter. We're looking to play that 4-minute offense and keep it moving from there. You feel me? Right. It's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, man, I'm with it. I think it's as long as they do the tandem right. Like I hated the idea, like okay, you knew every third possession Pollard was going to come in for Zeke. Like, don't do it that way. Mix it up. Have a little bit more mix up, a little bit more of both of them on the field, and go from there. A guy north of the star says 15 to 20 touches, short yardage goal line, feasting against light boxes. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I definitely see that. Let's see. Let me get down here. Any trade rumors on Gallup? No, man. Gallup's here for this year, bro. Look. Don't be surprised if Gallup ends up getting re-signed to stay here. I'm just going to say that.
I won't. There's no trade rumors for Gallup, but there may be a trade rumor for somebody else.
For who?
I'll say by training camp. Watch out for the LVE situation.
Okay, all right. I mean, maybe. We're okay. Oh, man, just somebody say it again. Don't be surprised when Gallup gets re-signed to stay here.
Yeah,
keeping it a buck. Alan in the building. What's going on? Appreciate you rocking with his brother as always. Yeah. So yeah, the trade rumors, nothing on Gallup. Gallup's here to stay, in my opinion. Zeke 15 to 20 touches is what we're kind of looking at. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited to see. Look, La'el Collins. By the way, my goodness. How great shape does he look? I mean, the reports are it's the best shape he's ever been coming into camp, actually. And man, I tell you, he looks. I mean, just looking at him and whatnot, I'm like, boy, he looked. He was always a dancing bear, anyways, on the outside. Man, that guy looks in such good shape. I'm excited. I'm excited for Collins this year. I was a little worried about the hip, seeing some movement and some different clips, and looking at his weight and where he's kind of got to. I'm pretty excited about La'el Collins coming back this season, Spoon.
Oh, 100%. Listen, he's one of the anchors on the offensive line. We know Tyron Smith's situation. We can't have two guys with injury history, and and La'el doesn't have injury history. But like I said, last year was just a bad year. But he's working out. He's showing his video, his abs, stuff like that. Like he's mentally ready to come back, and this is what we want. We want these guys to come back mentally strong, physically strong, and just get ready to go to work.
Try. I'll tell you something else too. That video you see all the walkout. Connor Williams is going to put on some weight too as well. Connor Williams is in fantastic shape too. So
yes,
I'm excited. Obviously, I want to see, and back to the left tackle, I think Dom just threw out there. Yeah, man, I'm definitely ready to see more of but it's going to be a slow process with Tyron. They're definitely not going to run back into the mix. They're gonna build that thing up with him. But I'm definitely excited to see Tyron, what he's going to look like.
right.
Obviously, looks like I'm happy you got, and maybe that's one that'll eliminate those. Well, he's going to miss the 3 games no matter what. Now the surgery. So great time to be excited and to look at what these things are. And everybody's in-house seems to be buying in. And you have the backside saying, hey, oh, yeah, I know we're through with these OTAs, but hey, we're coming to the crib. You coming, and getting those guys out there. And I think another thing that we haven't talked about enough of is, hey, man, finally, it should be Jaw season, right? Blake Jarwin in the building. He got hurt week 1, last year. It was over before he even got started. And him coming back into the mold. Maybe a little bit of a battle brewing there between him and Schultz. I mean, Schultz didn't play bad this year, right? But I fully expect Jarwin to take back over his tight end 1, and excited for that piece of those to be added to this offense that we were missing last year as well, Spoon.
Yeah, of course. Listen, I was reading that they was calling Jarwin and Schultz the two-headed monsters. So I mean, listen, we all wanted Kyle Pitts. It didn't happen, but we all know that Blake Jarwin's potential is definitely there. We just didn't see it enough because Jason Witten, when he came back, took over a lot of the reps. But again, to get a good glimpse of him, hey, I tell you guys again, when me and BJ was in Dallas for the NFL draft, I was very hard-headed with Blake Jarwin, BJ for years. And then when I went to the Giant game, the last game of the season, when Jarwin had 3 touchdowns, damn near almost won my fantasy championship with him. But I picked him up that week. BJ's like, don't sleep on Jarwin. Watch Jarwin. We saw the potential. But like I said, Witten is not here no more. Jarwin will compete for his spot with Schultz, and I believe he will win that spot. And hopefully he gets that potential that we know he has. He reaches it.
I'm definitely with you. I'm excited to see that. And again, it's just something that doesn't get, because I mean, look, man, we're loaded offensively, guys. We know this. We know the 3-headed monster wide receiver. We know about the running back tandem. Dak's back. We're excited. The offensive line's coming back. But boy, that'll tie it in, and Josh just kind of get swept underneath the rug a little bit. Yeah, and we're not talking about it enough. I think that's a big component to see what he can do. Especially we talked about in 12 personnel with him and Schultz. I mean, but there's just some things with those 2 guys that they can do and go through it. So I think it's definitely another element to this offense. Score shirt offense back in the building. SEO, we're going to run them shirts again. It's coming back. 40 burgers for everybody, like we ran last year. We're going to run them shirts again. So I'm excited about that. Oxnard on deck. We're waiting on the official dates for Oxnard. I know Moving the Chains was in here a little bit earlier, and she's like, she hopes they don't let fans there kiss the baby. Fans are going to be at Oxnard. Jerry's already said it. He can't wait for it. It's going to happen. So we're looking for those dates up ahead for Oxnard and where and when training camp, not where, but when training camp is going to be out there. And yeah, no, Mo, I said it last year. The offense, and I said it actually toward the end of the second season, or 2 seasons ago. Man, this offense goes through Dak. Yeah. And it went through Dak last year, and it's going to continue to go through Dak moving forward. Not that Zeke's not to be had or to be lessened or going to have or not have an impact on the game, but hey, man, this is going through. This is going to be going through these weapons and off of Dak's arm, delivering it to him. And we do need a swarmed earth defense to show up. You're right about that, Mendoza. We just need that defense, especially that run. We need that run defense to walk through and not be 31st like they were last year. Can we get that run defense somewhere between 15 and 20? That'll be great, guys. That'll be fantastic. I don't know what games I'll be able to go to this year. If I am going to one, it's funny. I might be at the Saints game. I got some good Saints friends. We usually like to go together and watch the game together. So that might be one I have circled. I haven't really decided to sit down with it yet. So I'm not sure. You any games in Dallas for you this year, Spoon?
Oh yes. So newsflash: the New York Giants hit me up today. For some tickets. So Spoonie, of course they gave him the rules. Spoonie, please behave. Don't do this. X, Y, and Z. And I said, listen, you guys got to treat me much better than that. Spoonie, I'm a guest. I'm a Cowboys guest at your stadium. So Cowboys and Giant game on December. I'm definitely will be attending to, and I'm definitely gonna let a lot of fans, if you near New York or close by where I'm gonna be at, and I am going to the Kansas City Chiefs game, in November. That's going to be the game where the Cowboy Nation take over KC, and they're going to have to call the military on us. It's going to happen. Because when we get in there and we beat Pat Mahomes,
yeah.
Call the authorities.
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Casey's gonna be a fun time. I might make that nice little 9-10 hour drive up to the KC just to get out there and tailgate and do something. Might have to do that. Oh man. But anyways, though, lots of stuff happening. You know, I mean, OTAs are cooking now. We're seeing Dak out here. We're seeing him move around. You know, these guys are back in the field. Big for me, just the fact that Casey's on the field and not going to be on the PUP list.
Right.
Puts me at ease at the safety position for now. And now it's just seeing how this thing comes together, man. I'm fully excited. It's all, you know, it's full steam ahead. And, man, this thing's just going to keep on ramping up, man. That is where it's at, man. And I'm with Jabbar here as well. Yeah, I mean, just so much to be excited for. Hey, what's Simi going to do? You know, we saw what he did over there at Stanford. Hey, man, what's that guy going to do, man? Like I said, that four through, let's say they're going to carry 6 wide receivers. 4, 5, and 6 is going to be very interesting. Top 3's locked. Put it away. I think Sid Wilson is the leader of the dog in the clubhouse at 4, but
right.
Hey, things can change.
Yeah,
things can change really quick. Me either. I didn't see anything on Royce candidate at all. I kind of cherry picked a little bit before we came on to see it, but definitely didn't hear anything on that ilk. With that being said, Spoon, right about this time, it's been a while. Drafts came and went, whatnot. I think the people need a Spoon's minute, man. I think we got through OTAs a little bit, right, and whatnot. And I think old Pastor Spoonie needs to have his minute with Stargate affiliates and Cowboys Nation. So with no further ado, Spoon, go right ahead.
Excuse me 1 second. Toothpick down. Cowboy Nation. Draft is over. OTAs is here. Dak Prescott is back. We're hearing good news about the players not starting on the PUP list. We having more experience on the coaching staff. What is it that now we cannot be excited for? What is it now? Tell us. Tell us. Everything we always wanted in the past 10 years, we are seeing it under Mike McCarthy. Under Mike McCarthy, we're seeing experiencing coaching staff that's going to help develop the players and help them grow. We're not seeing friends of a friends or a mentor or a position coach from down the block or I like that guy out of high school. No, we're seeing guys who either had experience as a head coach or was great at doing their job, that they was part of the reason why they was part of a championship. Philbin, Ben McAdoo, etc. Even former players on that coaching staff experienced a championship. So all that good shit, they're going to put it on the players. Sprinkle it on the plate. All that good seasoning. And you get a good meal. That's what it's all about. Now, granted, we have a GM in Stephen Jones who is not big on spending money. We understand that. But I'll tell you this. As long as you have a leader there, somebody there that's going to be able to pick the plays he wants, just like our defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn. Was he watching on the sidelines? No, he wasn't watching the sideline. He was damn in the middle, mixing the shit up with the players there. When a play went out, I'll take your spot. This is how it's going to be. That's part of the culture change. Dak Prescott said at his PC, culture change. We're pretty much hearing it before our eyes, but we're going to damn see it and enjoy it. When training camp fully comes to effect, once the season hits, you're going to see some bad, trash-talking football plays. You're going to see a different Cowboy team. I'm looking forward to seeing the Cowboy team that I enjoy in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the 90s. Attitude.
Yeah.
Attitude.
Yeah. Young Pup's got some spark to him, and you got Big Pup. Big Bo say ain't no more running in Dallas after Julio was talking about not winning or whatever and all that.
Yes.
And then you had a Bossman Fest. Oh, we winning in Dallas. So these young bucks they're built a little differently for sure, which is awesome to see.
Listen, no disrespect to the Byron Jones or the guys back then. I want a guy. George T. If George T. is watching, me and him went back and forth on Twitter at one moment, and I said, you know what, George? I thank you for one thing. Even though he was getting our asses whipped against the 49ers, what do you do, George? You could beat us, but you would not disrespect us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like. So when Bossman Fat came on and said to respond to Julio's or Shannon Sharp's comment about they're not a good team. If you want to win, don't go over there. He says, what? We all about winning.
Yeah.
That's what I love. Cowboy Nation, embrace it. Stop looking for the negativity. In order for us to grow together, we must come out of that Garrett era.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. Get out of it.
Post-traumatic Garrett syndrome. You know what I call it? Post-traumatic Garrett syndrome. Man, we're stuck. We're stuck like that. You feel me? We're definitely stuck in that realm, and we're so scared to be excited, for things that are happening. But I mean, look, to be excited, man, you should be excited right now, man. I mean, it's to be excited right now. And look, and Alan, we talked about this earlier. We'll bring it back around. Man, look, you have to look what Ben did as an offensive coordinator and what he did with, he's very quarterback friendly, if you will. I mean, he got elevated too soon to be head coach, but they didn't want to break up what him and Eli had going at the time. They went 11-5 with him as an offensive coordinator, right? So he's going to come in here, and it's another offensive mind in the building to help mold young Kellen and talk about different things of that ilk. You feel me? But yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, man, be excited. Right now, no injuries. We're all on the same playing field. This offense is going to be great. I mean, it's a look. As I said, I won't call it a Super Bowl roster because, I got to still see some things with this defense. But there's no ifs or buts at full health. This is a Super Bowl offense. There's no ifs or buts about it. It's a Super Bowl offense. That's a fact. Now, we got to see if Dan Quinn can get in here and do his job as he's getting out there spoon set. And I love the two. Oh, you heard? I'll line up at the one tech and go real quick. No pads, no nothing. That excites guys. I mean, if you played football, and those are always my favorite coaches when I played. Coaches that would get in there and mix it up and get hands on. Yeah. Bring that to me. I like that energy. So, yeah, man, it's time to be excited. I know, we did the Cowboys versus Cowboys show, and then me and Mr. Rome went back and forth talking about some different things. And Rome's super hype. And look, man, right now you should be super hype. You feel me? You should be hype. Yeah, we got them goons, right? Ryan Carter says the first step is to believe in. So yeah, man, it's definitely that time of year to be excited. And let's see what's going to happen and see how this thing unfolds. But for sure, as my guy Ron Hawkins says, he has a bad case of that post-traumatic Garrett syndrome. You got to call the doctor, man. Yeah, call the doctor up, man. And there's a lot of Cowboys nation that's still stuck with that, man. And we talked about it last year, and it's still kind of hanging around this year just because of things that happened during the season, the injuries and whatnot. So, man, we'll see what happens. As always, man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. We're here every Wednesday during the off season. During the season, we do switch over to Tuesdays. Mary Ella back into place. Finally, her schedule's cleared up. She's definitely back on the show next week. Our guy Matt O had a new baby. Congratulations to him. So he's out of the loop tonight. Shout out to J Tuck on the anniversary. Clap it up. Also, again, back up to my guy Ron Fan Cowboys Fan Talk. 4K in the building. Love it.
Yes, sir.
So here's what you can do. You can come follow us. Right? On Twitter. It says it at the bottom of the screen, right there, at Spoonie881, at your_guy_Knicks. Man, come follow us over there on Twitter. Have a good time over there. If you're on Facebook, man, there's a group and a page. Join the group. Get on the page. And then, of course, the most important thing, man, we're trying to get over 5K strong on the group. Man, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. And then on the back door of that, man, we're trying to get that same 5,000 over here to YouTube land. We're right around 400. So it's just Star Gang Podcast, all space, Star Space Gang Space Podcast. Go over there, hit that notification bell. You feel me? That's all we look forward to. And Hopkins in the building, boom. Bada boom, bada boom. Appreciate that as well. But God, Mo, let me get these last couple out of the way. Off topic, Fast 9 is out of control. Yeah, I could only guess. Alice's question, fellas, since we didn't have an offseason, should the guys that got drafted last year and this year and third-year players should report to early, get caught up? And look, and everyone's been there, man.
Yeah.
And everyone's been there, Alan. That's the great thing about it. They've been there all off season as much as they can be, and everybody's reported and been through things. So, and that's part of your culture change and what's going on, man. You feel me? No ifs, ands, or buts. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. With that being said, we'll catch y'all next week. But get the notification bell turned on. We might hop on at a different time. You might catch us again. We appreciate y'all as always. Peace.